today's video, I'm gonna be giving you the best settings in Modern Warfare 3 after the Season 4 update. Now, not too much has changed, but I do get asked about my settings after every single season, so here you go. If these settings help you out in any sort of way, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and click the thumbs up button. With all that being said, let's just hop straight into it. Real quick, how could you trust my settings? I'm just some random guy, right? Well, let me show you guys a few things. First off is my stats. 6.96 KD in multiplayer, and then for Warzone, we have a 6.46. 6 days here and 7 days there. So high KD in both modes. And if you guys take a look at my calling card, I have the iridescent ranked play season 2 calling card for Modern Warfare 3. And then my camo that my operator is holding is the Warzone iridescent camo. So we hit the max rank in both multiplayer and Warzone. All right, enough flexing. We're starting off with the controller settings. So my button and stick layout are default. That's because I have a controller that has paddles in the back, so I can jump with this and slide with this. So I can keep my thumb off on the analog stick and have great aim and not have to do any of the movements by taking my thumb off the analog stick. So that's really nice. If you want to flip your triggers, go right ahead. I personally don't. It's just personal preference. Although, when it comes to controller vibration, all of you should turn this off. It's messing up your accuracy and your aim. You don't even know it. Give it a week with this off and you're going to thank me later. For my dead zones, these are usually controversial on the channel because my right stick minimum is a 15. It makes it a lot slower and stickier, so I can kind of just like lock on into enemies. That's how it feels for me. If you don't like it, you could do a 7 just like the left and you should be fine. It's basically like 0. It's kind of default. Left and right are 100. I think at default it's like 99. Just do 100. Left and right trigger, 0. Anything over 0, it gives it a small delay, which I do not like. So make sure you change that. My sensitivity is a 6.6, not too fast, not too slow. There's no such thing as the best or perfect sensitivity. It's just whatever feels the best for you. But this is a great starting ground. My ADS sensitivity multiplier is a 0.80. So when I ADS, it's a lot slower. Again, I can just kind of like lock onto enemies. It's super just slow. So once you get onto the enemy, aim assist just kind of does the rest for you and you are not going to miss a single shot. Having it at a 0.80 is so crucial. Moving down, we have tactical stance sensitivity multiplier. That's a 0.90. I don't really mess with that. Aim response curve type, the best one is dynamic. I think a lot of the Call of Duty pros talked about banning this specific setting because of how broken it is. So make sure it's dynamic. EDS sensitivity multiplier focus. This is for all scopes. Mine's a 0.95. You're a lot more zoomed in with the scope, so it'll be a lot faster so you could drag it. So that's why mine is a 0.95 and not a 0.80. And then moving on from that, target aim assist. Make sure this is actually on because it's super broken and overpowered in this game. My aim assist type is default. I just prefer default. It feels the best. I tried Black Ops and I'm just not a fan of it, and it's not always guaranteed to be a setting in future Call of Duty games, so you might as well just stick to default and plan the standard aim assist type so you're prepared for any future Call of Duty games. Moving on, nothing else there. Moving to gameplay, automatic tactical sprint. This is a very important setting for clean and crisp movement. So here we are in private match. All you have to do when you have automatic tactical sprint on is simply push up on the analog stick. You don't have to press down and then push up. 1, you're saving time. 2, you're saving your controller. And 3, it is just so much quicker. Like, it's just press up, you're running maximum speed. So you have the best movement possible. Yeah, bottom line, automatic tactical sprint, you have to have this on. Slide maintain sprint, I turned this off. I found myself dolphin diving when I was sliding, even with the slide only option on, which we're gonna get to a little bit. So just turn this off. It kind of ruins things. Automatic move forward, I have this off as well. Automatic ground mantle, this is so you can automatically mantle stuff. If you're trying to jump shot in a weird spot where it's gonna mantle you somewhere, it's gonna ruin the gunfight. You're gonna get killed. So just turn this off. Automatic airborne mantle, I have this on partial. And then slide behavior, I do slide only. I don't see a reason for me to be dolphin diving. And I don't really like getting used to the hybrid. I'm not a fan of this option. I find myself still dolphin diving when I don't want to, because it's just kind of a habit for me to press on the stick sometimes when I don't mean to. So I just do slide only. It's the only option I really care to use it in both Warzone and multiplayer. Moving on, sprinting DoorDash, make sure this is on. Parachute automatic behavior, this needs to be off. So you can get the closest to the ground and then you could pull your chute by yourself. That just allows you to get a little bit of a head start on getting loot, taking people out and whatnot. So make sure that is off. LunchTime behavior is mantle only. A lot of this is default. I don't mess with much of this. Interact and reload behavior. So I have it on prioritize interact for Warzone so I can spam pick up items. It makes looting a lot easier. In multiplayer, I do tap to reload. I honestly switch this option so many times per day since I do play both. Tap to reload, it just makes it a lot faster and easier to reload in multiplayer. For prioritize interact, I'm pretty sure you just have to hold down reload if you're near loot or something. So again, I think looting's a lot more important in Warzone. So tap to reload since we're on multi. Armor plate behavior. Make sure this is on apply all. So instead of having to hold down triangle to put all 3 plates in, you hold it on for a second and then it just puts all the ones in you're missing. So it saves time and you don't have to hold the button down. Backpack control, make sure this is directional buttons. And oh, 1 by 1. I'm gonna keep that. I don't really mess with that. Camo behavior, I have this on independent. When I had it paired, I found the fire rate to be a little bit slower. When it's independent, I could fire at my own pace, and I feel like it works better in my opinion, so I have it on independent. And then after that, a lot of these other options are pretty default. That's gonna wrap up all the controller settings. Next, we have my graphic settings, which are pretty basic. I don't think they're too important because not a lot of it even changes. Here's my brightness for those of you who are interested. It's at a 50. And then the rest of it, yeah, I got very default. I don't mess with it too much, but if you want to jot these down for your PC, you're more than welcome to. Make sure HDR is off. It has some weird dark tint on your screen when you have it on. It sucks. Now we have my quality settings and graphics, and these mainly pertain to my PC specifically, but if you guys want to jot these down for yourselves, go right ahead. I get the perfect mixture of frames and quality. So the game looks good, and it feels very, very smooth. It's like right in the middle of that, which is really, really nice. I've never had any issues on the game with graphics or frames having all these settings on. So again, I'll go up very quickly so you guys can jot these down if you want. Pause the video. Again, a lot of them are very either low or medium. So the game still looks clean while maintaining frames. Next, we have my view settings here, and we have the field of view. I'm on a 115. 120 is the max. I don't like it that high personally, and I just feel most comfortable on a 115. If you don't really mess with this, I think the perfect FOV is like 100, 110. 110 is like right in the middle. It's really, really good, but I bump it up to the 115, and I have no problems with it. ADS field of view, make sure this is affected. This will visually reduce recoil on your weapons. It's like a little cheat code. It's kind of nice. If you have independent on, your weapons are going to look like they have more recoil than they really do, but it's just a visual effect, and effect is really nice. Weapon field of view is wide. It makes my weapon a lot smaller so I can see the map, where enemies are. I don't need my weapon to be big on my screen. It just doesn't make sense for that to be the case. So I really like wide. World and weapon motion blur, you need to turn this off. If you have it on, your game probably looks like butt. I'm going to turn both on for the sake of the video, and you guys could see, you're going to notice a huge difference. So boom, reload my gun. I'm trying to like show you the weapon blur if I can, but you could see the world motion blur, right? So it's a lot blurry when I'm running around. It's like hard to focus on an enemy if you see something, right? Because of the motion blur. So let's go to our settings. Off, off. Instantaneously, you notice a difference. There's no blur when you're running around and looking all over the place, so you could just see a lot better. The game looks a lot more clear and smooth, so make sure you turn that off. Film grain is a 0. It makes things look grainy, so that's why it's at 0. Camera movement, make sure it's least. If default, then you're gonna have a little bit of camera movement, which is pretty basic. So if you turn it to least, the game will look smoother once again. Inverted flashbangs is on, so instead of my screen going white, it goes black, and I feel like it kind of reduces the effects, which I like a lot. But that's gonna wrap up the graphic settings. Now we have my audio settings, which I don't change too much of. I had headphone bass boost. I feel like this is the best audio mix for hearing footsteps, which are super important. You want to know where the enemies are at. I've tried the other ones, and none of them amount to how good headphone bass boost is. Stereo output, make sure it is stereo instead of window default. You can also test the speakers now. I'm not sure if this was like this before or not, but I never used that. For my volumes, I have it on 26 because my game is cranked and I need it turned down a little bit. Gameplay music is a 2. Cinematic music is a 0, and same with war tracks. Now you guys see my 2 highest volumes are for dialogue and effects. Effects have gunfire, footsteps, and dialogue is enemy UAV, announcements, things like that. Those 2 are the most important. That's like life or death type audio. The music and the war tracks, it's just random nonsense in your ear you do not need to hear at all. So that's why I turn it down completely, especially the cinematic music. This is like to build suspense and high octane moments, that's the last thing you want to hear, some crazy music. Turn that off. Word tracks, I don't care to have that on either. The most important is dialogue and effects, in my personal opinion. So that's why those are the two highest. Voice chat volume is a 10. It's a little bit on the lower end, so I don't have people screaming in my ear. And proximity chats on. Again, a lot of this is pretty like just left alone. I don't really mess with a lot of it. Subtitles I have off. I like having random text on my screen for just no reason. And mono audio, make sure this is off. If this is on, it actually merges the two audios from left to right together. So it'll be hard to tell what's coming from your left or your right. So if you turn this off, it's actually separated. And then reduce the tinnitus sound. It reduces the blaring sound from the concussions and flash nades, which could be like just really ringing in your ear, which sucks. So turn that on so it reduces those sounds. And yeah, hit markers are Modern Warfare. Very straightforward audio settings. Not much changes here. Now we have our interface settings. Again, subtitles are all off. Color customization, this is super important. If you guys want your game to look very bright, vibrant, and colorful like mine, this is what you really want to pay attention to. So you're going to want to scroll down here to color filters. Make sure you're on color filter 2. Color filter target should be both. And then world color and interface color should both be 100. And you're going to instantly see that you have so much more color and vibrance in your game. It's a game changer. These 4 settings right here, you need to change. They're super, super good. My HUD bounds, I have them all squished in. So it's more centered to my screen. So when you're in a gun, when you're just playing the game, you want to be looking at the center of your screen. That's where the enemies are going to be. That's where you're going to be aiming and shooting. It's the most important. I'll tell you, win your gunfights. So if I have my mini-map a little closer to the center of my screen, I could quickly glance and then look back to the center of my screen rather than have to look all the way top left of it being in the tippy top corner. Same with your ammo, your field upgrades, your kill streaks, all of that. It's just a lot more pushed to the center. So it's more involved in the center of your screen, which is very, very nice. Mini-map, make sure it is square. I think my face cam's blocking it here, but square just has so much better coverage than a circular mini-map. And your mini-map is one of the most important things in the game. Mini-map rotation is on. I turned off my horizontal compass because I personally just don't use it. I like to just kind of free that space up. I turned it off. And then player names is abbreviated. I just really like it having a short name right there. And then we have squad health and stamina. This is a brand new setting, actually. I have this on so I could, see all that type of good stuff, which is really nice. Telemetry, this is where you could turn on your FPS counter, server latency, and packet loss. Those are the 3 I have on. I find them to be the most important. Gameplay tips, tool tips, introduction. I don't want none of that. Turn it all off. Menu prompts are automatic. I guess I'll just do controller since I only play controller. And yeah, that's gonna be all the settings. Here's account and network if you guys have any reason to be interested in that. Very fast settings video. There were some brand new settings in there, nothing too crazy, but again, if you want your game to look beautiful just like mine, jot all that down. Let's get up to today's settings video. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything I covered in the video, leave it down below. And if this video did help any of you out, before you head out, click that thumbs up button. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. You guys all stay safe. Have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.